Hello friends, welcome back, and for anyone who's new, welcome. If you caught us in the last video, we finished up the kitchen, and this week we are moving on to the bunk beds. Ellie's bed and Robbie's bed, which is going to be here, right behind us. Azrael and Robbie are already fast away working on them. We are going to build them new bunks with enclosed clothes storage. And then they'll have some bookshelves, and it'll be just a much neater space for them. And that way all their things, just like with everything else, all the kitchen stuff is in the kitchen, all the bathroom stuff's in the bathroom, and all their stuff will be in their bunks. Are you excited?
Yeah!
So stick around and check it out with us. This area is all repainted, all of our tea stuff organized. Utensils are back in their container. Teenager is teenagering.
Another child.
Boy is boying. And then the sink area. So this black rack stays permanently. These top dishes are stored there so they won't move. We dry everything here. And then this is for storage. We have our toothbrushes, knife holder. But yeah, all that's left is to pour the sink still. And then this area over here where the Lazy Susan is, this is what the shelves ended up looking like. With the bunks this time, we got some local lumbered pine as opposed to like the reused. What is that kind of board? Plywood. Reused plywood. And then now Azrael is going to router an area here because the things are meeting up and they don't sit flush, so he's going to do some routering to do that. And then on the underside here he's going to put in a groove so your fingers can fit in to help lift it up. Yeah, bottom bunk done. The top will be very similar. Now that the kitchen is done, we are moving on to the kids' bunk area. We want to get all the bottom things done so that way we can pour the floor this weekend. And so that would be the kids' bunks, the couch over here. The mattress has been on the floor, so you'll have to see through it, vision through it. But to get the cabinet here and the soffit here built, if you see, this is why I wanted to do a bus. These windows, like right now, these are always closed up because the bunks take up space there. But the couch used to take up a lot of space with these windows, but the way that it's going to be built now, the couch will be only in this corner, so we'll have more space. We even got that window open, which never opened before because of building. So we'll have more space. And we're still experiencing a heat wave. But if you take it slow, you're good, right? You're good?
Just a change of pace.
Yeah. And
continuing to enjoy the process.
Yeah, homemade gin does help too. Bunk number 2 is all built. This is Ellie's bunk here. This is where all her clothes will go. And then it's got hinges, so the top part will hinge up and off. And she can store everything in here. And now we are installing it. These metal brackets are what the bunk is going to be attached to. And then on this end, which is where their This is the kitchen sink, and then this is where their headboards are going to be, where they're going to build bookshelves. We'll have a support here to also carry some weight besides just the brackets. But trying to create more space this time. Less wood, more space for them to have other things. The diesel heater is going in here underneath where the couch is going to be. So that way it can blow heat into the back of the bus and here into the front. It's looking good. The diesel heater has been installed. You saw when we pulled out the old one, we had all of that fiberglass insulation, and we recently learned that you can vent it with an exhaust. Instead of doing the fiberglass, you can wrap it in the same tape you wrap around the exhaust of a motorcycle. So that's the exhaust that's vented out the side of the bus, and it's wrapped with motorcycle tape. And then this is where the heat will come off of, and we'll just have a tube. This space here is going to be where the couch is, so we'll have a tube that will come out. One will point that way in the back of the bus, and it'll tee off, and the other one will point towards the front of the bus here in the book nook area, which is what we are now going to be calling. So this area is where the couch will be. If you can hear the sander going, Azrael is sanding for that. And then here next to the couch, or excuse me, where the book nook is our new corner cabinet. It's behind the mason jar holder. We have a new bookshelf here because honestly that's probably what we need the most storage for. Next we'll be building headboards, bookshelves for the kids. And then lastly will be a bookshelf up here to cover up this space above the fridge. We'll have a bookshelf pointed out this way. And then will be the fun part with the decorations and putting everything back in. We have this area here, all painted. Bookshelves here, which are made of cedar. The couch is made of pine boards, which are the same boards that the beds were made out of. And then Azrael is just here Danish oiling everything, because we're gonna actually keep it just the wood. We may seal it with something else, but for now we're doing Danish oil. This is, the couch just needs a cover, but we don't need that to be done before we do the floors. The wall behind the couch is done. And so we are prepping to get everything picked up. Oh, we have a new ladder going up to our bed. We used to have a ladder that acted as a door, and we don't ever really use the door, so we're just gonna hang up a curtain that'll match the kids' bunk curtains. So we're just getting everything picked up off the floor. So that way we can redo them. We are getting ready to pour the new layer of resin. This is what it looks like before. And we're going to be pouring another coat of clear, to which we will add glitter to again. And it's going to go all the way back into that area. We need to lift up the fridge. This is what Azrael came up with. It's just some cedar boards across the bunk and the bookshelf. So it's lifted off the ground and we can pour the resin underneath. Besides that, everything has been oiled and painted. So once the floors are done, it's just putting a top and cushions on here. that is how the bunks will open up. Robbie has less storage space because of the wheel well. He has less clothing and less things though, so that's not really an issue. But we're gonna pour in there. And then Eliana's bunk is the same storage without, so she doesn't have that. We poured the shower. This piece of wood over the drain and tape. We'll see how it turns out. That's what we got so far. Just trying to bring in a lot of the colors that are already here. Because obviously the shower has the gray grouting. Copper walls, gray. I'm figuring whether I'm going to keep the yellow here. It's also on this side here. The bottom, 'cause it's getting a little... Yeah. And that's the inside wall, new wall of the bathroom. So because this was the first layer in here with the floors, you can see I missed a big old spot. This little area in here, basically where that curtain is, to right about here, we're gonna need to re-pour another layer on, but that doesn't affect anything else. The only thing left to build is on the back of the refrigerator here. We're gonna have a box, shelf down the middle, and then there'll be a backing on it. So that way the refrigerator isn't open. But that will just have a couple plank boards going up to a 2-shelf bookshelf. This stuff is Ellie's. I wanted to leave this open so you could see how the bunks. Ellie isn't home yet from her trip to New Hampshire, so she has not put her clothes away yet. But I did go ahead and make her bed. Robbie's bed. This pink thing is Ellie's, but besides that, Robbie's got all his pillows. And then at the end of his bed, he's got a bookshelf here. This is another bookshelf. Below this bookshelf is a cubby hole that he can access with a hatch. And then down here, it's just a dark hole right now, but that's where his USB stuff, his fan, that's like his little end table. He'll be able to charge his stuff from there. See the rainbows? Those are from these windows. The only 2 windows we don't have tinted are these. And it's because it lets in rainbows when the sun hits it. And it creates a little magical area. So that's the curtain for the shower. So when we shower, we put that up. We have the new book nook area. We're gonna have to work on a cushion for it, but for now we just have our pillows. And we are gonna put in one more shelf up here. Because, so these here are all the family books. This is all the stuff that we had tucked away and that we keep like moving around. And then this cabinet we're gonna paint green to match the kitchen. This is our electronics and games cabinet. And this is also where I plan to get a record player. And we're gonna pick up our records while we're here in Rhode Island. And I think we'll probably put a record player up there, a record holder up there on the wall. That way the player can fit. I really miss having it. We have an open shelf here. This is where the new plug is. So now we have a plug here. And we have one right there. And that's it for plugs. We don't really need them anywhere else. And yeah, the book nook is done. We have a few more finishing touches. I'm gonna paint this a different color. This is gonna get green. I'm gonna come through and do a whole new bus tour, but for now, we're gonna get the rest of Ellie's stuff in. And enjoy what's left of the weekend.